Alright everyone, we have more Infowars related news, which is literally in the last hour. Infowars, it's no longer on YouTube. Alex Jones' channel has been banned. I believe along with the secondary channel that was being used for live streaming, although I'm not sure. I condemn this, and it makes me worry about the future of YouTube, to tell the truth. YouTube could have remained above the fray. Facebook and Apple, of course, had banned, Infowars largely earlier. They could have decided to stand on principle and say, well, the content's not actually hateful. You people are full of crap. Which is true. Infowars, where's the hate speech that I'm being told exists here? Where's the hateful content? Alex Jones said he wants lower taxes. Alex Jones said, hey, buy a water filter. How the fuck is that hateful content? This is a channel with almost 2.5 million subscribers, so let me put it this way. If because of a pitchfork-waving, politically motivated mob, a person whose channel is run by a multi-million-dollar, technically corporate entity like Infowars, with that many subscribers, if they can just be let go of and be like, bye-bye, we don't care about your several million fans, we don't care how much they complain. If they can be randomly kicked off, what's to protect basically any individual user on the platform? What's the fucking point of creating content if at a moment's notice, because other people become suddenly offended at your political beliefs, you can just be let go of? This is another great argument for rendering these sites into public utilities. We have gotten to the point where the world economy is so intertwined with a handful of big tech firms, and those big tech firms have such an inordinately large market share, you almost cannot make a living without a presence on these sites. At least insofar as you're a business or you brand yourself. Like, I'm self-marketed. If it weren't for my presence on these sites, would my brand really be worth much? No, I'm a content creator. That's the whole point of it. Infowars, without a presence on these other sites, what does Infowars have? They have a website. They have a website. They've got their podcast embedded there. You can watch the videos embedded there. Whoops, they were all on YouTube and embedded from there. So they're gone too. We've gotten to the point where a half dozen or so firms decide basically whether you have a presence or not within this world, within the realm of at least developed country and developing country, increasingly, human communication. There's too much money at stake. There's too much political force at stake. There's too much of everything at stake. At this point, you have to be online. Human communication takes place there at this point. Emergency services use groups like Twitter and YouTube. Politicians have pages. Insofar as you can interact with politicians of which you may be a constituent on these sites, they should be considered public utilities. You should have equal access to that same service. We should look at them the way we look at phone companies or your local water service. They have a right to make a profit. They compete. They exist within a capitalistic framework. I would even strip down the FEC sort of bullshit regulations and just render them directly to the First and Fourth Amendment and to the purview of U.S. courts. These are U.S. firms, and the concept of free speech goes beyond, hey, the government can't tell you what you can and cannot say. That's just the First Amendment. Free speech is a concept. It's an ideological, philosophical idea. It's not just a piece of paper has this written on it, and so it guarantees the government can't screw you. The government partners with YouTube and with Facebook and with Twitter. If they ask for someone to be suppressed because the establishment doesn't like them, the intel agencies think that they spread misinfo and propaganda, so you've got to ban them off your sites. Insofar as it is possible for that to happen, and demonstrably has, these sites should be public utilities. Some people are saying, well, that's socialism. It's not socialism. The government shouldn't own these sites. They're totally capitalistic. They don't own the phone company. They just tell the phone company that they can't let go of you for your political ideas. It's called non-discrimination, something, by the way, the left supposedly fights for. You stop short of supporting that when it comes down to ideology because you realize that the alt media is tired of exactly this sort of shitty behavior from you and from your corporate cronies. And you people are so dumb that you want groups like Apple that employ child slaves over in East Asia to tell you what is right or wrong. Are you nuts? You have to be nuts. Ted Cruz weighs in on it. Ted Cruz is a total sellout. Even he understands there's a fundamental issue here. There is a problem with the internet we need to solve as quickly as possible. And it boggles the mind that the same sort of people that were rambling about how great net neutrality was and how terrible the internet would be without it don't want net neutrality when it comes to the handful of gatekeepers of everything else on the internet. As though the ISPs were the only possible point at which you could have discrimination occur. That's crazy talk. No, I condemn this completely. YouTube should immediately restore their channel. They should immediately apologize if they value their platform. This is a channel with several million fans. Do you not think, now that Alex Jones and Infowars were already trending earlier because of Facebook and Crapple's involvement, even shittier companies by far, YouTube has been a glowing example of a great big tech firm with a lot of responsible behavior compared to Mark Zuckerberg's crap, compared to Tim Cook's crap, compared to how often Twitter decides to algorithmically manipulate. YouTube has been the good guy of all of them. Now you've decided to get down in the mud with the other losers instead of standing on principle. It's called create content. YouTube. The U isn't staff, somewhere working for Google. It's people who built your fucking site. Infowars was there to begin with. You never had a problem with it. Don't tell me that you did this for moral reasons. You didn't do it for moral reasons. This didn't get done for moral reasons. It's because you were being pressured because people glowingly received the idea of censorship on Apple and Facebook and talked about how wonderful it was that this horrible conspiracy theorist was gone. Where is the hateful content? You didn't even give them the light of day and tell them what content specifically got their channel taken down. You didn't even bother to tell them. And this is a corporation, a multi-million-dollar business firm with a 7 or 8 figure budget and a dozen staff members helping to collate everything and produce. And by the way, is this going to win any fans for big tech, or is it going to win fans for Alex Jones? Alex Jones will be laughing all the way to the bank. He no longer he won't even need these platforms. He'll probably double his audience. So good going. I don't know what the fuck goal was accomplished by this. It gets me angry. As a content creator, looking at YouTube is a place where, yeah, there's a weird side of YouTube. If you think that it's dubious, you don't like it, you think it's offensive, don't fucking watch the material. It's just, we call them channels for a reason. It's like TV. I'm scrolling through, I mean, if I was watching TV, scrolling through, I see a show. Well, I don't really like the subject. It's like a docudrama or something. And there's a romance movie. I'm not really into that. And this one's like Y7, so it's probably stupid. Then I won't watch them. I don't call them up on the phone and say, hey, your shows suck. You shouldn't offer them to other people because I fucking hate them. That's not the way that things are supposed to work. Radio learned this the hard way. That's why satellite radio is a thing. Even they're more controlled now. They kick people off. They deplatform people too. It's ridiculous. We need to do something, and we need to do it very, very quickly. I think we just extend the Constitution, the First and Fourth Amendments, extend them to these sites, give people equal protection insofar as these are U.S. firms, and leave it at that. Let the courts decide who has a legit case. These sites will save money hand over fist not having to police offensive content for the fucking snowflakes. That's not what built YouTube. YouTube became big and great because of bum fights and Tourette's guy and grindcore and crazy shit. People rambling schizophrenically about what gods they saw when they went to sleep and dreamed at night. That's what YouTube was made of. It was made by groups like Infowars. And Zeitgeist, and people say, I saw aliens, I can astrally project and stuff. It doesn't matter if it's fake, if it's misinfo. It doesn't matter if it's offensive to you. Then fucking get off the platform and let people that created it continue to make their content. That's about all. Peace out.